Welcome to Mind Power, a Brains R Us program brought to you by Centerpoint Research Institute. In these special episodes, you'll hear thought-provoking articles designed to expand your mind, useful tips to improve your life, and the latest neuroscience research to help you tap into your fullest potential. Now here's Ryan Standifird with today's Mind Power.
This week's article is How to Eat an Elephant, written by Ryan Standifird, read by Ryan Moore. How do you eat an elephant? This was one of my father's favorite phrases, and he used a lot while I was growing up. Whenever I complained about a homework assignment, resisted going to soccer practice, or vented to him about the struggles of writing the next chapter of my book, he'd always hit me with, "Well, son, how do you eat an elephant?" I would always sigh and answer, "One bite at a time." Now, eating an elephant might sound a bit disgusting to those who are unfamiliar with this metaphor, but here's how I always visualize this saying. Think of the biggest goal that you're striving for right now. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds. Maybe you want to buy a house. Now imagine that goal as an elephant sitting on your shoulders. The bigger and further away the goal, the larger the elephant. Depending on your goal, you might start to feel a little suffocated with all the weight on your shoulders, especially if you're working towards a huge milestone like paying off a mortgage, getting your dream job, or starting a family. But here's the good news. Whenever you take a step towards that goal, you take a bite out of the elephant. And as you get closer and closer to achieving the results you've been working towards, you'll realize that the elephant is getting smaller and smaller. The weight on your shoulders lessens and lessens until you've reached your goal and eaten the entire elephant. Eating an elephant might seem daunting. Many people ditch their larger elephants to instead go after smaller ones that are easier to eat. If you're staring down the trunk of a massive elephant, don't turn tail just yet. Remember, you're not expected to eat the whole thing in one bite. Some elephants take years or even decades to completely consume, and those are the ones that are usually the most satisfying to finish. The important thing to remember when it comes to eating an elephant is to focus on one bite at a time. For example, if your elephant is to lose weight, then it doesn't make sense to do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, and run 100 miles in a day. Most people would choke on a bite that big. But 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and a mile a day for 100 days breaks it down into smaller bites that are much easier to swallow. Don't let the size of the elephant intimidate you. Don't be afraid to take smaller, easier bites. As long as you're focused on the bite at hand, you'll reach your goal before you know it. Here's another aspect to the elephant metaphor that is crucial to keep it from crushing your spirit. Elephants regenerate. Whatever bite you took out of your elephant last year has probably grown back by now if you haven't taken any bites since. Let's circle around to my weight loss elephant example. If you do 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, and run a mile today, that's a great bite that you just took out of that elephant. But after a week or two without doing any physical activity, that bite may have already grown back. So there's another trick to eating an elephant that my father never told me. You have to take consistent bites if you want to make sure that you eat the whole elephant. Even a half-eaten elephant can grow back to its original size given enough time, and may even be bigger than when you started. And here's another thing to consider. The more often you take bites out of your elephants, the easier it is to eat. You start to develop a taste for your elephant the more consistently you consume it. What you struggled to swallow a few weeks ago might not satisfy your hunger today. That means you take bigger bites. Maybe you do 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and run 2 miles after a month of eating that elephant. That's double the bite size, which means you'll get to your goal twice as fast. You already know that it's easier to eat something if you have the right tools at your disposal. Spaghetti is a lot easier to eat with a fork. Steak is easier to cut with a knife. Fries taste better with a little salt. The same applies to the elephant. What tools are you using to take your bites? Can those be improved? When you're doing your push-ups, sit-ups, and running that mile, would it help if you listened to music or had some comfortable running shoes? Or did your workout at a gym or a park? Suddenly, it's easier to take that bite when you've got a rockin' soundtrack, seasoning sprinkled on top, and your bite is cut down to an appropriate size. You'll find that there are an endless amount of resources that you can use to prepare your elephant bites that make all the difference. So if you ever find that you're intimidated by your elephant, think about what spice, sauce, or topping will make it more palatable. No matter what method you use to prepare your bites, the important thing is to focus on one bite at a time and keep eating. Even a nibble a day adds up. It's this consistency that will keep your elephant from regenerating, while you also fortify your appetite. You'll even learn the most delicious way to prepare your elephant with each new bite. All too often we take a big bite of our elephant too fast, which can lead to indigestion. Hey, it happens to the best of us. But don't let that prevent you from continuing your meal. Take a smaller bite next time, add some ketchup, and you'll get there. But whatever you do, don't stop eating outright. Otherwise, your elephant will start to grow back. I know you have it in you to completely devour whatever elephant is riding on your shoulders today. As long as you have the courage to take that first bite, the rest gets easier. So break out the cutlery, stock up your spice drawer, and grab your bib. Your meal is served. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this article, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be well.
This episode of Brains R Us is brought to you by the MyHolosync app, the only official app for HoloSync. Enjoy quick daily brain-enhancing meditations, long-form HoloSync radio stations for up to 8 hours of continuous brainwave states, easily access all of your HoloSync suites and courses, and listen to more Brains R Us podcast episodes, all from your favorite device. Head on over to holosync.app/podcast26 right now to claim a free 7-day premium trial, no credit card necessary.